advice you got for the people that are just getting started, hearing you right now? What kind of advice you have for them, as far as, because you do it yourself.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you've been through, you encounter different, this and that. What can you give them, to smoothen their road?
Well, I must say that I didn't always do it myself. I'm a very communal person. Anytime that I can pull somebody in, anytime that I can help somebody who's genuinely trying to grind, I don't help just everybody. I ain't that type of person. There are people out there that do that, but that's not me. I find people who are struggling, but, got the heart, but they just don't have the means, and I can help. I've always been that type of person. I would much rather be in a group, to be quite honest.
Really?
Yeah, I love being in a group. I've been in a couple groups. I was part of the Pharaohs. We had Upper Deck. I had a group when I was in Atlanta.
You were part of the Pharaohs?
Yeah, I was the one nobody ever saw because I was always in college. But every time I came back, we would rock shows, and we had Wednesday night over there at South Beach. And they'd be like, who is this? Yeah, they're like, who's this dude standing up on top of the bar rhyming? And that'd be me, you know what I'm saying? But I was in college, I was at Clark, and everybody else was getting it popping, so every time I came back, all I would do is, because we had a studio over there at Hush Studios over there off of Washington. Zach owns that big maroon building by that Holiday. We had a studio over there, and that's all. I would sleep there. Like, you can ask everybody. Like, I was there every single night during my break during college. Any break that I came back for, summer break, winter break, people went on vacation. I've never been to Miami. Everybody goes to Miami for vacation in college. Everybody goes here, goes there. I go back home so I can record. Like, it's if I can tell anybody, man, it's dedication. It's, you got to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues. That's just part of the game. That's part of life. This is not as easy as people make it sound and make it look. If you don't put your heart and soul into this, if you're not ready to die for this, like you would be ready to die for anything that you love. You can't love anything if you're not ready to go out for it. If it's not a principle in your heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, really sit down and try to figure out if this is what you want to do, and if so, figure out where you can be of the most help. Right now, I'm of the most help as an MC. It may change. I may make one hit, no matter how dope I am. I may make one hit and nobody likes it anymore. I may just be the flavor of the month. It might happen. I could be as big as Jay and Weezy and M, or, I could be like Skee-Lo and make one hit and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But, it's not necessarily about that. It's about, who's listening to my music, who I'm affecting, and who I'm helping, and playing my position and playing my role at the time. So, I say be like, like Bruce says, be like water. Be ready to flow, be ready to fit into a whole bunch of different situations, whether it be big or small. Be ready to adapt and evolve. But inside of that, have a plan. I'm a very planned person. Like, I've been planning and waiting for these moments since I was 15. Is be looking to evolve. Always look to change, always look to get better. Once you think you got it, you don't have it. Your craft should be something that you love for the rest of your life because you're constantly evolving. You're constantly getting better. So, I never want to stop being an artist, ever. Like, artists we don't retire, we die. There's no retiring from hip-hop. I am hip-hop. I'm going to be, 80 years old, hopefully, God willing, with a pair of Chucks on and a fitted, because that's what I'm comfortable doing. Right. Not because it's a fad. I am hip-hop. That's where I grew up.
The next question is, like, what do you feel that the industry is at right now? Do you think there's a good thing going on with the industry as far as hip-hop is concerned, or do you feel like we're at a slump, as far as the music is concerned?
Well, the bigger part about it is, Mos Def said it's the greatest. And I remember the place I was at, I was getting off the 19 over on Newton when I was listening to Black on Both Sides, and I heard Mos say, he was like, he said that, hip-hop isn't some mythical creature up in the woods, you know what I'm saying? Hip-hop is us. If we're doing bad, hip-hop's going to do bad. Hip-hop is a direct reflection of how the people in, urban areas are doing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, things are in a slump because we're in a slump. I feel like production has stepped up. I feel like as far as artists go, we've taken, I'd say, a step down, but I feel like we've taken this step down, and I know I'm about to get in trouble for this. Every time I bring this up to one of my OGs, one of my elders, they kind of look at me funny, but they can't really say nothing. I feel like MCs have taken a step down because the generation before me and the generation before them did not focus and concentrate on being businessmen and making sure that they are in charge of these labels. So then when Kool Herc steps down, he's chilling. What is he doing? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? When Ice Cube steps down, he's chilling. What is he doing? Who knows? Even though Ice Cube is a little bit more business-minded. I feel like the reason why MCs had taken a step down is because we as MCs, you know, past, present, future, aren't making sure that we're taking care of the business and being very Gordy and stepping in and saying, I'm going to run the label. We got these kids coming from college, you know, that are fans. Just because you're a fan doesn't mean that you can run music. Doesn't mean that you can do music. You know, like,
they're trying.
Yeah, and they trying real hard, but they're ruining everything because then they're just going and grabbing cats, and you know, they may come in with good intentions, and they sign, you know, Black Eyed Peas before Fergie. Remember Black Eyed Peas before Fergie? They breakdancing all the time.
Right.
You know, and Eazy-E saw them and pulled them in. He had an eye, but they may come in and sign something like that, and it's not making as much money. And they sign 2 or 3 acts, and it's not making as much money. So now, their dad or whoever had the business is on their tail. So now they got to do whatever they got to do to make the money. So they go sign the Racks on Racks on Racks dude, and you know, all these other little bandies, one-hit wonders that come through and bring them through. And when I talk about these cats' music, I don't know these men personally. I'm saying the music is trash. I always thought hip-hop was about, oh, you're doing this? All right, I'm going to go over here and do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like what you're doing, but I'm going to take it and put my twist on it and go do my thing. Not, oh, you're doing this? Everybody come over here and do this. But that's because of the label, in my opinion.
Well, that's what it is. It is that. It's, oh, you doing that? Okay, black tees, jeans. Okay, I got the black tee jeans, but I got this chain on though.
Right.
You know, and,
or I got dreads now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't know. I think there's a piece of people that sometimes, like the only people that I get in my crew that I can really rock with tough are people who grind themselves, who aren't intimidated by my grind, because me being a one-man army and I do everything that you do, I'm going to call you out. Not in a way where I want to embarrass you, but if you're not doing your job, I'm going to say something to you. Because we sit down and have to talk that we both want the same thing. So I need you to work. And when things ain't working right, I need you to let me know so we can pick it up and make it happen. Like, there's no time for miscommunication. There's no time for hurt feelings. There's no time for arrogance. You know, if we're trying to, you know, get to these points and get to these goals and get this money so ultimately we can help other people, then we need to be on it. I'm more than willing to sit back and let people do what I do, because I would much rather just make music and direct traffic like George Clinton did. I would love to just make music and help people with their projects and, you know, bring people in and executive produce and work and love it.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Loyalty.
Yeah. That's why it's so small.
Yeah.
That's why I trust this brother with everything I have. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't given me a reason to think any other way. And he does the same for me. So we work together and we take care of each other. Like, he has a clothing line. I do music. Like, there's no, you know, but we work together, and what's good for me is good for him. We just keep on building. I don't do anything without his logo. You know what I'm saying? Because it only takes me a second to put it on there. He supports me. He helps me with everything I need. When I need fresh gear, when I need pictures, he comes through. You know, we help each other, so that's the way it should be. I think you should have to work up to Serato. I don't think you should be able to just go buy Serato. I think Serato is something that should be super expensive unless you, like, have a DJ card and you're like, look, I've been DJing for 2 years. My OG says I'm ready. Let me get Serato. I don't think anybody should just be able to go out and buy it, man. Same with M-Boxes and Pro Tools. I think you should work up to it. Anybody ask me, like, who, like, when we get to talking about, like, real influencers, you look at all my bios. Bus One, Truth Maze, OSP, every bio. I was never allowed, like, I came up under Truth and Bus and OSP. I was never allowed to get in the booth for a while. So I was helping Nasty Nate that worked at Angel Beach when we was over there. Yeah. I've been around, man. I've been around. I mean, through my dad and through JD Steele. He's my dad's best friend. I've been around pretty much every. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like I was just, everybody put me in charge of just watching. Everybody thought I was gonna be an engineer. Nobody liked my music. I was the one. Nobody helped me do nothing, man. Nobody let me on to do nothing. And then when I started making projects, people are like, "Did you know C was that good?"
That's usually the happening. That's usually the case.